Good evening. This is a very special read that I'm doing for the collective that has given donations to support Broad Coven. This is my way of pouring back into you for pouring back into me. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate that tangible monetary support that you have brought in for the channel, and also to help support the work of Cobra's Medicine Bag to expand on free Ayurvedic resources for the collective. So it's so appreciated. It really does mean a lot to me. And I wanted to think of some way that I could kind of like pour back into you and really acknowledge that. And so I like the idea of giving you a little collective read here just for you. We're just going to see whatever wants to come out, okay? And let's just go ahead and look at what... do we want to do like November? Let's see what November has in store for all of you, okay? We're just going to dive right into this read. This is going to bring in any of your energies. So there's not actually, there's such a small group of you, okay? So this is really going to be quite like a personal read. I think I've had, let me see, it's been under 10, okay? There's been under 10 donations. So that's a small group of you. You'll get a lot more details coming in, which I think is kind of neat, all right? In the future, moving forward in the future, I'll be doing this weekly. If there's any donations that come in the week, I'll be, giving a read. And if it's only one donation that comes in that week, then, I'll, put up a read for you. I'll just make it anonymous. So, you'll know. And I might reach out to you in some way and let you know that you're the one or that you were the only one. That way, if you know that you were the only one who, did it, you'll know it's actually a very personal read for you. You can, I don't know, we'll have to navigate that, but I think I'm going to just stick with it that way. It makes it easier. Okay. It just makes it cleaner. Okay. We're just going to do it like that. I might highlight that. And then you get a little special read, a little special mini reading experience or something, but it'll be posted publicly. Okay. It won't be a private. Still go up here on Broad Coven. I wanted to think of a way that I could kind of like really acknowledge that. I like the idea of shout outs. They're nice, but there's something nice about just giving a little something extra special. And this feels good to me. So I hope it feels good to you too. And again, I just want to say, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. And it's not just about the financial support. Okay. So I'm also very grateful for just showing up and watching the videos and being here with me, sharing your experiences, bringing your experiences in, the interaction, I really do value your presence here, and I appreciate all the other forms of support that you offer too. It's not always monetarily, and people aren't always able to do that either. So please know that if you're one of those people that is not in a position to donate financially, I totally get it. It's cool. I understand. And, I still appreciate you because you're helping with the growth of the community here, and you contribute and you bring a lot in, and you're, some of you are subscribers. If you're not a subscriber yet, hope you consider it because that makes a big difference too. So let's see what is coming in for the collective that has donated to Broad Coven throughout the month of November. What is coming in spirit for the collective that has donated to Broad Coven for the month of November? Okay. Well, we see you in a strong position, and it looks like there's something you're really transforming here. You're rising up over a challenge, something that really held you down or held you back in the past, or maybe something you were intimidated to approach before. I feel like you're also invoking a bit of this Leo-like energy. Some of you may be Leos. You may have a strong Leo placement in your chart. If so, I feel like this is where you're sourcing that strength at this time. You might be, allowing yourself to let, yourself be seen. You might be taking some kind of center stage in your life, or stepping into a position of higher visibility is really what I'm getting with this, You're ready to put yourself out there. Maybe you didn't have the courage to do that in the past, or there's something that you felt like you wanted to bring forward or you wanted to share or step into, and there was just sort of like a little bit of I'm kind of getting this piece of it. It almost feels like imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know. I'd like to do that, but I don't know if I can do that. I think, you really do have what it takes. Okay. And with this strength card here, anything that's held you back from doing it in the past, it's nothing you can't overcome. And in fact, you will overcome it with the strength, because when strength shows up, it ensures success. Okay. So you got a strong foundation here. I like seeing this. It also looks like you've been doing a lot of healing work, I feel like you've been building up your confidence. Some of you have really called your power back from a situation that was like a dance that you'd been engaged in for a long time. And you never thought you would break free of this thing, but you did, So this is really potent here. All right. I like this. Starting out strong. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Nice, strong people here offering support. I love that. That feels really good. Because a community is only as strong as its foundation. So it looks like you're in a good, strong, confident place in your life. If you don't feel that yet, you're on your way there in November. Okay. What do we got going on here? This might be why you're not, you might be needing that strength. You might be needing the strength of patience. Okay. We do have the 3 of Wands in reverse. Let me see what's coming in here, because you have kind of a whole fan of cards that came out here. Let me try to show you. This set of cards here, they're moving out of the crossroads. All right. I'm not sure what direction they're in yet, but they're currently moving out of the crossroads, which means you're not going to be stuck for much longer. So I feel like maybe there's something you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for this to come through. You've had to exercise a lot of patience. Okay, it's on the upswing. You've decided that you are going to turn down some offer that's going to come your way. That's what I got. Okay, you've decided to end a cycle on something. I think this has to do with somebody who was approaching you romantically, and you just felt like maybe the approach was a little too immature, or that this person couldn't really be all in. There's also something you might have suspected about this approach. You may have thought there was this what are you really up to? It has sort of this energy, are you working me? Are you manipulating me? There's just something here that felt funny to you. It felt energetically off. And it's probably because you had been in this situation multiple times with this person. It gives me the vibes of, somebody that, okay, not again, and I say that because it comes in with the 9 of Wands here. The 9 of Wands, this is this isn't my first time at the rodeo, I'm prepared for this, nonsense, but there's something interesting here. I have to say, I don't know, it's giving me a little pause for questioning. So I'll be curious to see what cards come out to clarify, because I'm wondering if this is more like your mental state. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is just what you're anticipating. And so you're sort of setting yourself up before this really gets a chance to develop. Page of Cups energy, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You may have felt like this person promised you something. They promised to deliver something, or that they were talking about moving forward in a certain way. And you feel like, okay, I'm waiting. Maybe you feel like they presented themselves as a king or a queen, but what you're seeing is page behavior. And this is why you're suspecting, And again, it's a repeat cycle. It's something you're used to. If it's somebody brand new, then it's a situation where it's like, if it's somebody brand new, it's a situation where you've been through that so many times before. You probably had really immature, emotionally manipulative partners who were selfish. And you kind of co-signed on that to the extent that you kept giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving in the situation. And you ended up getting just completely worn out, just totally worn down, exhausted. And you might have even dealt with somebody who was so immature in their behavior, just the way they moved, and their manipulations. It caused a lot of, upheaval in your life. Like there's always one fire after another to put out. And this person just always had a way of kind of working you, and you wanted to believe in them and you give them another chance. But every time you felt stabbed in the back. That's what I got. I'm picking up that for somebody, this is related to a child. It's related to, a teenager. Okay. I got that energy. You're really fed up with it. You don't know what to do. You might feel like they're acting a little delusional. You suspect they might be, um, abusing a substance, partying, something like this. I feel like who that speaks to, it's like you always feel like you're just waiting to receive the call. Waiting to receive the call. They might be living a little fast too, and this might really concern you. But this is in reverse. This Three of Wands is in reverse. So this lets me know also that it's like Nine of Wands is an expectant energy. It's like, I'm expecting something to happen here. I'm prepared for it. I'm bracing myself for it. I'm very self-protective. And then at the same time, it got paired with it, this Three of Wands energy. So I don't know why I got this piece here, but maybe things are not all as they seem. And it was 11:11 on the clock when I said that. There might be something that you're not quite seeing accurately, and it might be informed by past experiences. And so you might be in this space where you automatically make like a preconceived judgment without having the full lay of the land, right? Maybe this is what you've dealt with in the past. Maybe this person was like this in the past, but something has ended here. And it could be that somebody had to take a real hard fall before they learned their lessons, Maybe you had to deliver a little tough love to this person. You had to shoot them down, and maybe they are coming back around and they have something they want to share with you. You might suspect it at first because of this history between you. Okay, let me get some details. I want to know about this Page of Cups. Let's look. This is the only court card we have on the board. This is about receiving some kind of news. Okay, so tell me about this Page of Cups. What is this news coming in? This Page of Cups energy, this very, very small, beginning, opening, emotional expression, it looks like, or some kind of opportunity, okay, to open up into the heart space. Could be with a water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, doesn't have to be. Let's see what's coming in here around this energy. I just heard you'll see a full expression of this energy by the Cancer full moon that closes the year on December 26th. Okay. All right, bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, okay. So for one piece here, this could be somebody that, when I was talking about the child, this could have something to do with somebody, getting in trouble, going to juvie, this kind of energy. There's some piece here about some young person living really fast. They might have some kind of issues with substance abuse or something along these lines, and worrying about getting that call that they've either been locked up or that something, bad happened to them as a result, bracing yourself. But then it's interesting to me because that Three of Wands is in reverse. So it's almost like, first of all, be careful what you wish for, because worrying can become, a manifestation of its own. So what if instead you started focusing your energy on what if they heal? What if they see the light? What if they encounter a mentor and they gain the strength to turn their life around? What if you started just holding these ideas instead? I wonder what would happen. Would it change the way you interact with them? Would it shift your behavior towards this person? Would that then have a bang on effect? There's some piece about this coming in here. Be mindful of what you're programming for your reality. I also feel like this could absolutely apply in terms of a romantic advance or some advance to heal a relationship, heal a connection, heal a situation. You might automatically be expecting something to be suspect. And because of that expectation, you've already limited the expression of what this thing can be. So I really feel with the Three of Wands in reverse, with the way it's coming up here, there's something that's very clearly over. And clearly you've been in a position where you feel like you've got to protect yourself. You're tired of putting out fires. You're exhausted. You've been dealing with somebody's nonsense. It's worked you over emotionally. You felt manipulated in the past, but you have to take your responsibility in that, and acknowledge the ways that you played into it. But something here has ended, and it may have ended really brutally, and that might be what's still lingering. You know what I'm saying? Is like the memory of that, the memory of what you've been through. But this advance, it looks like it's not what you're expecting. And I say that with the Three of Wands in reverse. It's like, yeah, something's coming in, but you're expecting it to be a certain way. Is it really like that? This could be you. You know what I'm saying? you could be feeling trapped in this like cycle of only being able to look at a certain person or a certain situation in a very certain way. Okay. And it's everything to do with you dealt with a bunch of nonsense, it looks like, that moved you into a space where you had to protect yourself. So tell me about this news with the Page of Cups. What's really coming in here, Spirit, for my collective that's donated abroad coming? What is this news that's coming in November? It looks like it's some kind of invitation, you know, to open into something, okay? And what is this invitation about? What's the real deal? Okay, we've got a couple cards coming out here. What do we got? Interesting. It's the completion of some kind of burden. There's no more burden here. Isn't that interesting? Because we were talking about this piece about, you know, you feeling like you had to kind of like take stuff on, and maybe it's about letting things go. You could be dealing with a Leo. Okay, second time Leo reference came in. You could be dealing with a Leo, a Taurus, an Aquarius, or Scorpio. But something is coming through to a successful completion here. You know, I feel like somebody is taking responsibility. That's what I got. Maybe this person was like this in the past, whoever you were dealing with, whether it was a romantic partner or for someone out there, it's a young person. It's like a teenager. It could be your child, or it could be a relative of yours that you're really concerned about, you know, and you just want to know if they're okay, right? In some way, shape, or form here, this person is taking responsibility. This person is taking the load off of you. Look how much lighter your load is. Here you are in the center here. It's a victory for you. This is success. Something's being completed here. Somebody is willing to do the work in this situation. They realize that they did put a lot on you, and they're taking their part. They're taking their responsibility. This is allowing you to get those Two of Wands that, you know, gives you a clear view of the situation. So we know right now you have a particular view of this situation, but there's something here that's not quite accurate. And getting this new view and allowing this person to come forward, it's like they take the burden off you. And I just heard take a load off. It came in, it's come in before here. Annie Fanny. I said it originally, take a load off Fanny, way back when, like in the summertime when we were moving into the quest here. And then I got corrected, right? In the live chat, I got corrected, and it came through as they said, no, it's not Fanny, it's Annie. And then it was hilarious because it might have been like a few days after that. I was on YouTube and I ran into this video, and it was that song, and it was titled Take a Load Off Fanny / Annie. It's like a Mandela effect moment, okay? Maybe you're about to have a Mandela effect moment. Maybe you have a certain memory of a situation. This person has a different memory of that situation. There's something kind of interesting happening here. Whatever this is, it could have been this person was just sort of like they were in a different reality at the time. That could be possible. Maybe they were, you know, dealing with some kind of substance abuse issue, and this was making them a little bit unclear. They were moving a little into the Neptunian energy. This could have also been somebody who was like just kind of out in fantasy land for a while. I mean, I'm getting kind of this wild, free spirit sort of vibe, maybe tinged with a little bit of, you know, a poet's soul, which likes to burn bright and, you know, throws caution to the wind, sometimes to their detriment, and it makes you want to pull out your hair, or frustrates you because it puts more burden, more responsibility, more stress on your shoulders, okay? But this person's taking responsibility, and it's freeing you up, and it's successful completion of this old cycle. This is kind of cool. What comes on the other side of the world here? Moving away from troubles, moving away from difficulties, okay? But see, here's the piece here. It's coming through again. And this could, for the piece that speaks to like mother and child, this is coming through very strongly. But it applies to all of you, okay? For those of you that don't have a child that's factoring into this situation and it's speaking of a lover, these are like old wounds from your childhood. It's a very young part of yourself that is still holding on to this pain. And you're meant to move forward cleanly. You're not supposed to take all this suffering and strive forward with you. You know, abandon those swords, man. There's something that needs to be like kind of put to rest here in this situation where You're not so defensive that you block something that could be good for you. Oh my goodness, that's what it is. For those of you that it's a love situation, you're still looking back at the past. You're looking at what happened back there, what was disappointing for you. You're still in a grieving process, but I feel like this offer that you're suspecting, it's legit. It's the Two of Cups. But you can't see that because you're still looking at the past. So you're still in this place of grieving, mourning, lamenting, waxing poetic on something that's already been spilled. There's nothing to retrieve there. And again, if you're having like a reunion experience with somebody, which it does have that feel for, I feel like for the majority of you in this group, that this is a romantic story, that's your story. This is somebody you dealt with before that's coming back around the bend, and you've had an issue with this person. I am picking up like addiction, substance abuse in relation to this person. I'm picking up a lot of Neptunian, kind of energy there. I mean, Pisces is associated with the Page of Cups too, so it could be you're dealing with the Pisces. This person might have had to, they had to go into a treatment program, or maybe they had to go somewhere to, heal or something along these lines as possible. In that case, they might have even they went somewhere else, in search of healing, maybe somewhere across water. I mean, I don't know, this imagery is coming through almost like going from one place to another. In some cases, this was actually being in some kind of facility or something where they needed to heal, right? But not in all cases, okay? Drinking could also be an issue. There's like this watery quality there. So there could be alcoholism, something along these lines, all right? But that could be one scenario. Could also be that you're used to this person not following through. They promise you celebration. They promise you commitment. They promise you, this beautiful love story, but it always ends up the same, maybe with third parties interfering. They like to pull other people into the mix. They like to spark jealousy because they have abandonment wounds. Whoa, that's what came through there. But this is a new beginning for you. It's a new beginning in love. It's an Ace of Cups. And look, it's blessed up by Spirit right here. So you're dealing with a situation where there is healing here. There's a healing opportunity for you, and it's something that wants to come in for you. But only you can take the cup. There's a lot of nurturing that will come through this. I don't think that you're going to rush this thing at all. I think you're going to take this thing at a slower pace, okay? And I do believe that's wise. There may also be stuff that you need to still kind of cleanse yourself from. There's this piece that's coming through about responsibility. First of all, laying down, your responsibility to take on somebody else's stuff, right? So where you have had that problem in the past, maybe it's time to recognize that you can't project that onto that person. Like, you agreed to take on this stuff. And maybe that's not easy. I see it's more of a challenge for somebody who's dealing with a child, certainly, right? Because you have to have responsibility as a parent until they reach a certain age. But when it comes to love, that's up to you what you take on of another person's to hold. So if you're going to do that begrudgingly, then there's something you have to really look at there. Never take on something that you take on begrudgingly. Do so with a willing heart and a compassionate spirit, right? So, I mean, I feel like because we see the communion wafer here too. So there's something here as well that, needs to come into alignment with you. Something inside of you that needs to be cleared away, cleansed away, so you can actually be open and receptive to receiving this. And maybe see things from both sides, not just where you've kind of been entrenched in your view. And that might be hard, right? It might require you to have a lot of compassion, to even hear this person out. But there is something really beautiful that can grow from this. It grows over time. You won't see the full fruition of what this could be. And I think that's when the one becomes the two, okay? Until the summertime, all right? It starts out as one. It's an invitation. You got to take the cup. But I feel like you're going to be a little careful in this situation. You're going to have to kind of really take your time to ease into it. And you're going to want to have moments where you can reflect with yourself and just sort of check with yourself, okay, where are you at with this? Okay. I don't think it's necessarily always going to be the easiest process, but that doesn't mean there's something wrong with the experience. It just means that You're moving into real sensitive territory where you feel guarded, you feel worse for the wear, and you just want to make sure that you don't get hurt again, right? Let me see. If you take this Ace of Cups, okay? What if you take this Ace of Cups, if you accept this person's invitation, this emotional invitation that's coming forward to heal or to come together in love, it feels like there's still some healing component. This could be somebody brand new. I do feel way, way more that it's like somebody you know already, okay? You have history with this person. If it's somebody brand new, you are super, super gun shy and you're just dragging around too much of your old story. And it might be time to like look into getting some kind of like support moving through this experience so you don't lose out on what could be a good thing. But let's see what happens if you take this Ace of Cups. You know, yeah, you're wondering, would there be growth in this situation? I don't know. Should I invest in this with the Seven of Pentacles? Let's see. Should you invest in this? Let's see. We'll open it up. We'll see. We'll get an honest answer. I mean, if it looks like you shouldn't, I'll give you the straight truth, okay? But let's just check it out. Let's just be open-minded. Because there's something about that Three of Wands in reverse where it's like you're expecting something to come in a certain way and it doesn't come in the way you expect. You immediately distrust it. Like you think it's fishy. It's suspect. But is it really? You know, is it that you're kind of like creating that for yourself because you're still looking at a situation in an outdated way? Let's just get, okay, ooh, split. Oh my gosh, the way that came in. Okay, you're in two minds. You're in two minds about something. What is this? This is if you go for it, okay? This is if you don't, all right? So this is how they landed, okay? So we have these cards landed here coming out of the crossroads. Yes, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take it as this is if you go for it because it landed right on that Ace of Cups. And then over here, you have these, okay? And these are landing way away from this. So that makes me think if you move away from it. Look how kind Spirit is. It's like, look, we'll show you both sides. You can decide what choice works best for you. I love it. I almost want to like, I don't know, I feel like looking at if you move away from it first because I feel like this is what you're more compelled to do. So I feel like I want to look at that first and then we'll go from there, okay? What's on the bottom of the deck? Oh, hold on. I'm going to hold up on that one for a minute, okay? Oh man, don't screw yourself, okay? So if you don't go for this, look what you end up in. Hanged Man to the Seven of Swords to the Six of Pentacles. You end up in a position where you just put yourself on hold, man. And you just continue to go through life in this way. Just, you know, sort of accepting the bare minimum because you're too scared to move out of your comfort zone. And you stay in this space where you realize like, man, I really blew it. I had an amazing opportunity there and I shot it down. I shot myself down and now I'm hung up and I have to continue to hang out in this karmic loop where I'm always in situations where I feel like there's not an even, you know, give and take, where, you know, I'm dealing with, you know, always having to take care of everybody else, or conversely, you know, I'm put in a subservient position. You could wear either of these hats in this situation, but we know you're sabotaging yourself if you move away from this opportunity. It's very clear, especially with what's on the bottom of the deck. It's very clear. Okay, I'm dying to know what comes out. I can't wait to see what these cards are. If you go for it, if you accept the offer. Oh, wow. Wow. This person's transformed. You may not believe it, but they have. If you choose, remember I said Neptunian energy, you very well could be dealing with a Pisces, okay? We have the moon here, which also represents Cancer, okay? But it's now in reverse. So where you had this certain sort of like illusion about this person, you come out of illusion. What you think is going to be a tower or destructive, it actually reverses. And you think this person is still a Knight of Pentacles in reverse, that they have the inability to like be true to their word, follow through, commit to something. And you're actually wrong. It may have been like this in the past. This person may have been all promises, no delivery. And I say that because with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, you know, they never planted a seed in the past, but all of this is in reverse. Like, this is what disappointed you in the past. This person promised. They always broke their promises. It led to all this illusion. It led to all this confusion. There was a Neptunian quality there. There could have been substance abuse involved. It brought a lot of towers, a lot of betrayal. Okay, so let me look at this. I want to look at this a little bit clearer, okay? It's an interesting energy, actually. I still want to look at it a little bit deeper. Let me do a cut of the deck energy on this one, okay? So cut of the deck on the right, okay? Because both of these situations have interesting elements in play. I wonder if you were mirroring each other a little bit. This could be like kind of almost like you're mirroring issues to each other. It could be like a trauma bond kind of situation. It could be a dynamic where you don't realize that you two are, it doesn't even matter if it's a teenager that you're worried about, like somebody in your family or your child, that doesn't even matter. It's still soulmate. Like, this could be somebody that, like, you're mirroring trauma to each other. I can see how this could be the case too. Maybe there's a little bit of this that runs the both ways. Somebody's taking responsibility where they didn't in the past. It looks like if you move away from this thing that you're sabotaging yourself. Okay, I get it. This person has changed though, and they really are ready to make a commitment. They're ready to take responsibility with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, but it could go unplanted. Like, they could decide, like, okay, I guess whatever, you know. If they feel like you're not willing to believe that they've changed, they could just rescind this. You know what I'm saying? So let me do a cut of the deck on this, and then I'm going to pull out my trusty playing cards to get some more details in this situation. On the right side is going to be if you move away from this situation and you refuse this offer, this opportunity, this emotional invitation from this person. And on the left side will be if you go for it, okay? Should I stay or should I go? Let's see. Okay. If you walk away from it, we got movement. We got Eight of Wands. We got communication. If you take this opportunity, they're King of Wands. They're not a page. It's up to you. Somebody's grown. They're not where they used to be. It's up to you. Only you can decide. I mean, either way, you move forward, but it looks like if you move away from this, you move forward a lot more slowly. You have to remember this, because look what we got here. We got the Hermit, not the Hermit. Well, maybe you'll go in a hermit mode. I don't know. You could be dealing with a Virgo, all right? But you move into this Hangman energy. Like, this holds up the balancing of karma. So this is how I take this and interpret it, because I have to look at it as the clarifier for these cards. So if you go this way and you choose to walk away from this, yeah, you'll still move forward, but you're going to be more held back. It's going to take you a longer time. You know, there's something you're supposed to be balancing out here in this situation with the Six of Pentacles. There's some kind of karmic balancing at play in this situation. And you're going to have to do this at one point or another. So maybe it's up to you what speed you want to take that at. But you're only going to hold this up. You're only going to hold up your forward motion if you choose to, like, turn down this opportunity. This person's grown. They're not a page. They're a king. What's behind them? Yep, but you could sabotage it. They are, look, because you're looking back. I wonder if you have a strong air placement in your chart somewhere. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Or if you're looking at, or if the person you're dealing with also has a strong air sign placement. It's interesting the way it comes out. When you look at the way the king is looking in this direction, but I feel it's you. You're looking back at the past. You already had sabotaging energy come up for you with the Seven of Swords if you walk away. So this makes me think of your tendency to self-sabotage and to constantly get caught up in your head and look back to the past. Look at how it comes in. You look back to the past with the Eight of Swords and the Six of Cups. And you keep looking back, you keep looking back, you keep looking back at what is already done and over with the Death here. And it makes you go into this self-protective space where you get overly concerned about your security and your safety in a situation. But that's not what's approaching you. And we know that this is kind of a bit of you're tying yourself up in knots. There's something here. You're sabotaging yourself because you don't have an accurate view. And this is somebody that, you know, actually with the Six of Cups is a very sweet energy. This is an important person in your life. Certainly if it's your child, they're very important. If this is a lover or somebody you're healing with, like this person has matured. They are willing to take responsibility now. They may have screwed up back there, but it's sort of like, how long do you want to hold on to this? Because it's sort of like the message is coming through from spirit that you need to balance this out. You don't have an option about this. Like maybe you do have kids together. That could be possible too. Like you have to balance this out. It's part of your dharma. Like this is what you need to do. This needs to be balanced out. And until this is balanced out, you're just going to get held up. Like where you want to see progress, where you want to see stuff coming in, it's going to slow you down. So this is a case where you have to really kind of like, I think you have to take it slowly and sensitively. I agree with that. I think it's going to take you time to establish, you know, proper boundaries in this situation. And you need to be aware of that you do have a lot of fear in this situation, that you have had some really bad experiences with this person, potential substance abuse in connection with this situation. You may feel that this person's been really emotionally manipulative in the past. Okay. You felt worked by this person. So I get it. Okay. But you have to trust in yourself more too. You know, there's that piece as well. It's like, what? You don't have any ability to spot the red flags. You don't have any ability to know, like, if somebody is working you. You don't trust yourself to be able to handle things more effectively next time. You know, are you going to continue to just put up with stuff if they start slipping up again? No. Like, you know, there's something here. You're not seeing something as it really is anymore. I want to see what follows up, what came after the Eight of Wands. You moved away the other direction. Two of Wands. Okay. Looking out in a new direction, getting a new view. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So isn't this interesting? It's like you got two different choices here. Again, that Ace of Pentacles, it's like the same pentacle that's being held over the heart of the Four of Pentacles. I mean, I think security is super important to you right now. And there's a big financial piece here. You may have felt like this person really held you back financially, or in some way your growth, like your tangible growth and material reality was really like affected by this person. And maybe you're wanting a new beginning for yourself. Maybe you're wanting to move away from this energy, but it doesn't change that there's still something that needs to be balanced out in this situation karmically. There does. Like, and because of this energy, you're wanting to advance, you know. Yeah, you do have a seed you can plant here. Okay. You get to decide how you want to commit to moving forward in your future. Absolutely. You know, that's up to you. This is what this is boiling down to is a choice between love or money. Love or money. You're making a choice where you're trying to decide, is it about love? Is it about really connecting on a heart level, or is it about money? Right? Some of you may be looking at this in relation to a job. All right. I have to bring it in. You're questioning if you should go rogue, if you should go independent. You're worried about heading in that direction, and you're wiffle waffling because you feel like if I go that direction, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder to have the kind of financial stability that I want. But do you really have good financial stability where you're at right now? Not really. I don't think so. You're really held back, actually. And you're not getting compensated what you deserve at all in any way, shape, or form. And you're only slowing your own growth down. This thing is stealing your time. It's stealing your energy. It's stealing your passion. Will there be a new beginning if you stick here? I mean, yeah, it'll be slow though. Real slow. Real slow. In a business, on a business level, if you're trying to make a choice between something that feels a little bit more Like, oh, when I think about that, that really excites me. Like, I feel like, oh, it's a little risky, but oh, if I could do that, that would be awesome, you know? Or maybe it means you have to take a little bit of a pay cut for something that has you worried, like you've dealt with a lot of financial challenges. You're like, I can't deal with that. Like always just like worrying about how am I going to pay my bills? Yeah, but it looks like there's a maturation process here and it leads you to this place. Like I can see that in a business capacity, like this King of Wands energy where you're highly independent. You know, you get to be in charge of your own schedule, your own life. You're feeling good. You got passion, you got purpose. And maybe it's even something that was a childhood dream of yours. Maybe you feel like you never got the opportunity to do this thing. And that's why you're always looking back to the past. And there's this place inside of you that, you know, always feels so stuck, but it's because you're not really living out, you know, the true work you're here to do in the world. That's for one of you or a few of you, actually, maybe. I do feel there's this component here where you're really weighing up like, well, but what speaks to my heart between what's practical? It's like, do you go for what's practical or do you go for, you know, what your heart tells you to do? I mean, if you go for what's practical, yeah, that's going to be there for you, but there's not really steady, fast growth. Your growth is stunted. Hanged Man to the Eight of Wands, like really slows things down. It's like working against the tide. That's what I got. And you won't be compensated. And that applies in love too, you know. You'll continue to deal with the same pattern in matters of the heart. You'll continue to be like, you know, just settling for breadcrumbing, the bare minimum. Over here, you got a chance to be independent, you know, and to have a real connection, a new beginning. If you don't sabotage it, if you don't keep looking in the past, or if you want that healing, you know, with that person you care about that you've been worried about, like you have an opportunity to get back on the same page with them and have it be a really beautiful thing and witness them in their growth and their personal empowerment. Or, you know, you could cut yourself off from them and that experience of having a new kind of relationship with them. That's what I got. Here's what was on the bottom of the deck, by the way, Four of Wands. Look at the celebration, giving each other your flowers. I mean, to me, it's very clear. Like if you're really wanting love and you're wanting family harmony, stability, you know, if these are things that are important to you, having a happy home, having a happy life, feeling appreciated, having people around you that appreciate you, you'll take this opportunity. You'll take this opportunity. You'll take this emotional offer that comes forward. You won't turn it down. And if you're the one issuing it, you will follow through and you will issue it. Or you can be scared and you can live small and it's going to be like, just like you're going to be on this repeat karmic loop because it's so freaking clear that this person is a soulmate. They play an important role in your life. There's something important you have to learn here. And let's look at the Four of Wands in a new way. Let's say, oh, there's no way I would never be with them if it's a former, you know, romantic partner. Well, cool. You still give each other your flowers. You show mutual appreciation. You bury the hatchet. And you come into a better alignment with this person that feels true. And there's still a spirit of celebration in that. And there's a sense of homecoming in that. There's like the closing of a chapter on a successful note with the world, right? Again, you could be dealing with fixed sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Why did I say Virgo? Why did I say all earth? I didn't mean... You could be dealing with an earth sign energy. You could be dealing with a Virgo because that came in a couple times, even though they didn't show up. You might have a Virgo cross watcher energy. You might have a Virgo that's keeping their eye on you. For Virgo to come in like that, the way it did so often, it feels like it's more of an energy that's kind of like keeping tabs on you. Okay. I meant to say fixed sign energy, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo. Interesting. Maybe there's a Virgo involved in this situation somewhere that's like complicating things a little bit. All right, let's get some of these cards out here. Yeah, you know what? You're meant to bring this into balance with the Two of Diamonds in the light. You keep thinking it's this. Ace of Hearts to the Queen of Hearts in the shadow. Water sign energy, all right? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There it is. You suspect it. This is how you're viewing it. Why? I love how it's mirrored. Because you have an over concern with security. You're guarding yourself. Four of Diamonds. Oh my gosh, it's the same cards, only it's coming out in the playing cards. You think they're a Jack of Clubs energy. You think this person is just messing around. They don't take anything seriously. They have no ability to follow through. If this is a lover, you think they're a total player. They're playing the field, and you're wrong. They're a king energy. This energy is evolved, all right? And you need to deal with this situation because 6 of diamonds, it's your karma. This needs to be healed, all right? You think that this person is going to like tear you down, like you feel like a real sense of, you know, almost like this person will win at all costs. You have a real false perception of this individual. You need to discover, learn, and enter into this in a spirit of play. Like, okay, I'm going to be open to this experience. I'm going to be very communicative about my boundaries and how we can move into this. But if you open up to this, what you thought was a repeat, you know, it's just going to be more of the same. It's not. This is your soulmate. 6 of Hearts in the light. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But if you move away from this and you don't balance the karma, 2 of Diamonds, you go into illusion, and then you end up feeling like you need to like follow the path with heart anyway. So like you go in this, that's why it says you get held up at the crossroads. That's why you end up in that hangman energy. It's like, so you go for the security, you get scared, and all you're doing is you're just making this thing drag out longer because it will come back around. Because if you go the other direction, then you end up having to move away from that direction anyway, because what are you doing? You're looking back at the past with the 5 of Hearts. And you still want this thing to come in, but now it won't come in because you didn't give it the chance when it was prime and ready. And so everything moves into gridlock. Whoa. Okay, that's basis of the matter. I'm going to stick on the track that you take the opportunity, all right? I really want to look at it from this angle because the cards are very clear that you should take a little bit of an emotional risk and maybe be willing to be open to hear somebody's side. It looks like this person's matured. It looks like this person's taking responsibility where they put a burden on you. They're willing to do the work. Somebody's done a lot of work to, you know, turn themselves around in this situation. And there's something you need to get a more accurate view of in this matter, right? So let's just kind of like look at this a little more deeply. Let's say you take this emotional invitation that comes forward. Let's see what happens, where it leads. Let's get some more details about it. Because I don't think it's going to be like smooth sailing the whole time. I mean, it looks like it takes time for things to mature and for your connection to feel solidified, whether it's new or you're healing with someone. But by next summer, you're going to have a much different view of this situation. All right. So let's have a look at this here. Let's see, you know, what happens if you take this emotional opportunity. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, I mean, somebody here has definitely gone cold, all right, with the Queen of Spades in the shadow, like really like shut down their heart big time with the Ace of Hearts here, okay, in the shadow. Remember I asked you if you had air sign energy. You could have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in your chart. I mean, you dealt with somebody who like really like they cast a lot of illusion. They had you really confused. You haven't known up from down with this person. I feel like they really affected your balance and probably brought a lot of competition into the scenario. This person, yeah, this person, like they cast a bit of a glamour. I can see how you felt like also maybe they were really out of balance. They were unrealistic. They caused you a lot of worry. But again, there it is, 6 of Hearts, soulmate energy in the light. You need to discover, learn, and play, okay? All right, can we get some more details about this? Any other details? When it repeats like that, it's like so driving it home. I feel like no matter what, you need to take the opportunity to, you know, discover, learn, and play with this person and just open up to the opportunity and don't have a preconceived notion about how it's going to turn out. Put down, you know, appropriate boundaries around the experience. You might even want to call in some support. You know, if you feel like you need to call in mediation or you need to call in some kind of like therapeutic support. Yeah. Oh, I love the way that came out. Beautiful. Yeah, because look, this energy, it's not in reverse. It's that same energy of making an offer. I'm willing to be committed to this. I'm willing to move forward. I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to take responsibility. You could be dealing with an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And what's at the crossroads here? Okay, in the light. Something that was separated, something that had a rift between it, coming back together with the Two of Hearts. It's all in the light. It's legit. And what I love is the third card that came out, and I'm going to end it off here because it's very clear. I'll do a cut of the deck, and we're going to call it good. Right here, we have the Ace of Spades, the hidden, okay? And it fell right on top of all that stuff about the illusion and, you know, being confused. So it's not that anymore. It's not. But I think you need to take your time, and a really good foundation needs to be put in place, because obviously there's a lot of distrust and there's a lot of sensitivity around this issue. So do be mindful, okay? And be honest with yourself about where you're at and with them. It looks like there needs to be a lot of communication and a lot of open-mindedness and a lot of willingness to listen, okay? I got that too. And soften a little bit. You're really in this like harsh, cold space, and I'm sure you are, and you have your doubts, but there's something that does come through this process that's beneficial for you, and it's your karma. You need to do this. It's gonna come for you either way. Okay, we got 5 of diamonds in the shadow. So I mean, there's definitely this piece here about being worried about security, and on the other side, 7 of diamonds in the shadow. This is your big concern. You are really worried about your finances right now, your financial growth. And this might be why you're kind of shutting down to the experience. Yeah, you know, you may have felt that this person in some way really impacted your finances. I could see if it's somebody with an addiction, maybe they, you know, maybe they stole money from you, or you really had your stability rocked in such a way that it really affected you financially when this thing split up or when problems developed with this person. But this situation is turning around with the Joker in the light, okay? And then we have here in the light, it's balancing out. It's balancing the karma with the 2 of diamonds in the light. Yeah. Yeah. No, this thing can actually work. There can be growth. You can get to the other side of it, all right? You can, okay? What's being communicated here is being communicated honestly with the Jack of Spades in the light. We got the 8 of diamonds in the light, which means you can work through these issues of betrayal that you have with this person with the 5 of Spades. It's all in the light. And everything's in the open in this situation. Nothing's hidden, okay? It's all on the table. Like, you know what you're dealing with. And this person isn't sitting there going, oh, no, I didn't do that. I never did it. I get that they used to be, you know, a real thorn in your side. You didn't have good experiences in this situation. You have been betrayed. Like, your experience is legitimate. I don't think this person's going to be like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. This is somebody who's taking responsibility in one way, shape, or form, okay? And if you didn't know, substance abuse may have been the issue in this situation. And now you're kind of like finding your way through. I want to do an overarching theme card for you. Okay, we're going to do the Halloween Oracle here and just see what is an overarching theme for you all for November. I mean, opportunity to heal with a soulmate, you know, and to get to a place where you can get back in alignment. And, you know, maybe if this is an ex-partner and you really do want to head in a new direction, wouldn't it be nice if you could move forward in a way where you finally have a good clearing out, you have closure, and there's like healing in that situation, and you can be harmonious with each other? You don't have to have all the heaviness. Like, there's an opportunity here. Even if you decided you didn't want to reunite, okay, you still have an opportunity here, all right? And if it's your kid, naturally, you know, you want to work it out with your kid or your the teenager you're worried about, you know. So, but again, I keep getting boundaries, okay? There needs to be parameters around it. And a lot of that has to do with where you're at and just creating a feeling of safety around it for you, you know, and only you can determine where your boundary lines are. Bottom of the deck energy, Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. So something from the past that comes forward again, something's going to be illuminated for you, all right? There's infinite possibilities here. There's a lot of different ways you could look at this situation. It doesn't have to be bad. And the situation doesn't have to be the same as it was before either. It also doesn't have to be resolved in the way that you thought would bring you happiness in the past. Maybe it means something different to you now. So just be open and see what comes forward, okay? But I do see that, you know, if you take the opportunity, there's a chance for alignment, stability, a feeling of, you know, homecoming, you know, and what you're looking for. You're looking for that security, you know, happy home, happy life. I mean, in some cases, happy wife, you know, it is the marriage card. It is coming together with a soulmate and having a real spirit celebration. So something is like overcome in this situation. There's energy that's transmuted and the healing's on offer. But we always have our free will. We always have our free choice. It's not going to come easy. It takes time. You won't see the full progression of it until next summer. All right. Possibly in Leo season. Okay. So, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey. And sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. You know, there's a lot that could come out of it for you. But if you go with the piece of yourself that wants to keep yourself safe and guarded, you're just going to slow down because this is something you do need to balance out this relationship with this person. It's your dharma. And if you don't do it, you're going to have to do it anyway. And then you lose the opportunity that could have been there the first time around. That's what I got. It could be a missed opportunity if you sabotage yourself by being too intractable, too stuck. I don't know. I think you're going to be brave. Look at this. Dawn, the light after the darkness. I think you're going to really, you know, maybe surprise yourself. Looks like you're heading into a lighter, brighter time of life. There's something you're transmuting here. I think that as this develops, there will be kind of these moments where you're going back and forth with it. But ultimately, I think you're going to be brave. And it's the very thing that sets you free and sets you on that track towards the happiness you've been looking for. And somebody that had an addiction is breaking free. And that's a beautiful thing.